Salutations, crustaceans. I'm Lobster, and this is my 2021 Summer NAMM recap. We are here at the NAMM show, Summer NAMM 2021. Woo! So to start out, the NAMM show is rather small relative to previous years, and that's because we're just coming out of the whole global pandemic thing, so understandable. I'm hoping that Winter NAMM, which we will be attending, is better. The bass turnout overall was not that big, but there were some gems, and we're going to go over those right now. First and foremost, the brand with the most prominent display was Reverend guitars, and they had a lot of great models there, as well as 6 different basses for us to try out. One particular bass stood out to me, though, and that was the Reverend Brad Hauser Fatfish 32. Now featuring a Music Man style pickup at the neck position and a P style pickup in the bridge position. Very interesting. And myself, as well as all my friends who were with me, we had Dale from Transcription Tuesdays, as well as my good friends Johan and Chris, who are both part of the LowEndLobster organization. So we all took a turn playing some of the Reverend instruments, and this Brad Hauser was pretty sweet. So much so, I'm buying it. When I asked Ken Haas, who is the owner of Reverend, when I asked him if I could buy it, he said that all those instruments had already been purchased by a shop in New York, so I was able to get in contact with that shop, and we are going to be checking out the Brad Hauser in the very near future, and I'm excited for that. Funny enough, when Dale was playing that bass, the local news crew actually noticed him, came up with their cameras, and interviewed him, so we now call him Hollywood Dale. It's a good time. Here's a little bit of footage from that news bit.
National Association of Music Merchants is here to show off its latest in music making. They call it the NAMM Convention.
All right, News 4's Terry Bulger was there today.
Bass player Dale Bales, with that ready-to-go stage name, is looking for an instrument upgrade.
Yeah, I'm not looking for anything specific. It's really just when you pick it up and you play it, you just kind of know if it feels good.
Another company that had a great showing was Lakland, and they had a bunch of different basses, including a new style of 5502 with a matte cherry burst finish and a roasted maple neck. We are definitely going to be checking one of those out as a revisit to the 5502, which we checked out last year. Those should be available, I believe, in the late fall to early winter. Keep an eye out on the markets for that, though, because that is going to be a hot item. They also had the Geezer Butler PJ signature with the purple finish, the translucent purple, and that was very good looking as well. Other than that, though, there weren't that many other basses from big brands. There were a few small manufacturers and small shops, including Moonshine Guitars, which we hung out with a little bit. Shout out to the Moonshine guys. Those are some great guys over there, and they had some really cool basses. And then finally, there was a boutique guitar showcase that had 2 Dingwall basses, but outside of that was showcasing some radical guitar technology. There were guitars with modular pickups that you could swap out, as well as a guitar with a rotating pickup platform where you could actually rotate between pickups on the fly without actually having to really do anything other than flip a switch. It was really, really cool, and I was really impressed with the level of technology and craftsmanship that was going into these instruments. They had a price tag, though, let me tell you, with the guitar with the rotating pickups and the blue top going in at around $16,000 US. So those are high dollar instruments. However, the technology that was showcased there, I am hoping, comes to the bass world in the near future. I'm crossing my fingers for that. In regards to amps, I believe the best showing there from what I saw was the Ampeg Rocket, which is their new combo series. And those are actually packing quite a punch and sound great. I'm potentially looking to check one out. I really don't do amp stuff because, I'm trying to keep everything the same, but like a separate amp showcase might be cool. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see something like that. In regards to accessories, so I actually met up with Ray Ross of Ray Ross Bridges, and he provided me one of his 4-string units, and we are going to be installing it on a Glary jazz bass, just to see how it impacts the tone. I really like the design of his saddleless bridge, where it's essentially the string going straight shot to the tuner with, the nut in between and nothing else. It's very interesting, and I'm excited to see what sort of impact that bridge will have on a bass like the Glary, but I do intend on installing it on one of my nicer basses as well for its permanent home. So we'll do some videos on that as well in the near future, but that is a very interesting bass design, and yeah, it's going to be cool. For some non-bass stuff, we saw a really cool digital drum kit. I believe it was called the F Note. Bully the Kid, who we met up with and we had a great time with, he played this drum kit, and wow, he tore it up, and that thing sounded like a real drum kit. It was incredible, the level of response that it had, as well as the sounds. He has his own video up, which I'm going to link in the description below, but here's a short clip of him having a good time on that drum kit. Now, Bully and myself both did our own separate live streams. I did day 1 and he did day 2, and we recapped basically what we saw for the day. We did go over a few of funny incidents that happened. I'm not going to go over those in this video, but feel free to watch those live stream videos. Those are going to be linked in the description below as well. One interesting bass that I remember, it was a very odd shape, was this bass called the Big Johnson. It was a weird, like, upright acoustic bass hybrid that you could play either sitting down like an acoustic or standing up, and it did have an end pin. And those were very interesting. I did have some fun with the fretless and the fretted version. The price tag was a bit steep, but I could see how, there's a lot of craftsmanship that goes into those instruments. That being said, they were very interesting looking. They were quite large, but definitely had a unique sound, so that was pretty cool. So this was our first NAMM show, and it was, again, a lackluster turnout in regards to vendors because of the pandemic and because of, supply limitations and some companies potentially, being downsized because of the whole pandemic thing. I mean, there's a lot going on in the industry right now, but it was nice to see that there's still a pulse, and most of all, it was extra nice to get out there and meet my friends, Bully the Kid and Chris Volpini, both who are, dear friends of mine who I've never met in person before this, and it was great to hang out with them, as well as go on a road trip with my dear friend Johan and meet up with our dear friend Dale in Nashville, and it was just great to get together, and we had a blast. Nashville is an interesting city. There's a lot of live music. It's almost a sensory overload in regards to how much is going on there. But it's a good time. There's good food, good people, and I look forward to going again. And I'm also looking forward to being in Anaheim for Winter NAMM, so we'll have some coverage on that in the future. But for now, let me know what you thought of our Summer NAMM coverage. First time doing this, so there's definitely a lot of growing pains here, but we had a good time, and I was very happy with how things turned out, and most of all, it was just so much fun to hang out with Bully the Kid, Chris Volpini, Dale, Johan, and we met a lot of new friends along the way. In fact, there was a little vintage guitar shop called Carter Vintage Instruments, and they had a really cool selection, all sorts of old stuff from big brands and small brands. I saw fretted Padula, a brand I had not seen in person in a long time. There was a cool vintage Yamaha, a fretless grabber from Gibson, some old P basses, one costing around $10,000. But there was a load of different instruments, and it was a blast exploring those. And shout out to Moon Maze, a band out of Colorado that we encountered at that shop, and we jammed with a little bit and had a good time. It was really cool to meet them, and I hope to see them at Winter NAMM as well. So that was a lot of fun. But that's it. That's my coverage for Summer NAMM. I hope you guys had a good time. I did, and until we groove again.